What is going on, guys? It is Daniel Wright, and you are here listening to another episode of Paving the Way. Guys, as always, I am happy to have you here on another Wednesday morning for hopefully a little bit of value, a little bit of nuggets to make you think, and some content that helps you pave the way to the life that you desire for yourself and all those who count on you. As always, guys, you know that this podcast is designed for leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, or anyone who's just trying to build a life worth being proud of. And I hope that we provide that value, we being typically me, provides that value to you week in and week out with the different topics we discuss. Now, one of the things that I make sure to do is only discuss topics that are relevant to me and what I have learned or what I'm going through or what I'm currently learning right now. And that's what kind of leads me into the topic of today, being just do it. And no, this is not sponsored by Nike. We're not doing a commercial for them. This actually comes from a video, a clip from actually 1988 or 87. I have no idea what event it was at. It was a guy by the name of Art who was giving a speech of some sort. And the big topic he was talking about was just do it. He talked a lot about how people want to talk about all the things that they want to do or they're going to do or they can do and would do, should do, could do, all the stuff. And it really just boils down to you need to just do it, right? Like the Nike slogan is, you just do it. Talk is cheap, action's where it's at, right? And so I hope that today we can cover a few points. We're going to talk about different things such as leading by example, making hard decisions, and creating momentum for your team. But nonetheless, guys, this is stuff that I'm learning right now as a leader of a growing organization, a growing team that I have to continue to do better at, which is just do it. Like a lot of leaders out there, I can paint the vision. I can paint the picture for where I want to go, where I think this team can go, where the business can go, what opportunities we can present. But at the end of the day, if I don't just do it, no one will actually believe what I'm going to do. So with that being said, let's get started. All right, guys, like I was saying, we're going to be talking today about 3 simple words that can make a major impact on your leadership ability to take a team where they count on you to take them. And that's to just do it. The best leaders that I know often have a massively wonderful skill of telling everyone what is going to happen. They can paint the picture for where they're going to go. They can paint what it's going to look like when they get there, how it's going to feel, smell, taste, whatever it is, you name it. They can paint that picture so beautifully. But I can tell you from experience, one of the biggest hiccups that happens as a leader when you're painting that picture is the paralysis by analysis, right? You get caught in trying to determine whether or not you're making the right decisions, whether or not you're going the right direction, whether or not the picture that you painted, is it really the best way to go, or is there a better way that we can do this? You get caught in thinking it up. But oftentimes, the people that you're leading, and you being the person that they're counting on, want you to simply just do it. Because they hear you talk about it day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, or they listen to 174 episodes of the things that you talk about on your podcast, and then they ask themselves, they're like, well, great, is he just going to do it? He talks about it all the time. He tells us how great it's going to be, how great it could be, but is he going to do it, right? And so the first point we're going to cover as an example of where a leader needs to just do it is leading by example, right? When no one wants to take on the tough task, you need to be the one to step up first, okay? And there's times where you don't necessarily need to be the one to physically do the thing, but you need to be the one to step up, take the task by its horns, and get it taken care of. Whether that's assign it, delegate it, assist with it, walk through it to make sure that something's happening and progress is being made, but you need to lead by example and take on that task and make sure that it's going to get handled. When you do this, it shows humility and earns the respect that you're proving that you're in it with your team, right? I can talk about to our team the things that we need to improve on or the initiatives that we're going to take or the ideas that I think could get us to here or there, whatever it may be. But unless they actually see me doing those things, see me getting involved in the conversations, getting involved in the planning and strategic discussions that need to take place to accomplish said things that need to be done, then they're just going to say, I'm just talking about it, right? And so that's something that I've had to really learn over the years is I can come up with all the ideas. I can come up with all these great plans of things that we need to do and things that we should be doing. But if I don't get involved and start taking them by the horns and taking the initiative and leading by example and saying, I said we need to start doing this for quality control. Now we're going to start having daily meetings to make sure we're doing these things for quality control. Or if we say that we want to start making sure we implement XYZ for safety things, well, if I don't actually start stepping up and getting involved in having those discussions and making sure we're doing these things for safety reasons, then it's just talk, right? It's not being willing to get involved in what you're saying needs to be done. So leading by example is one of the things that every leader just must be willing to do. Now, as our company has grown, there are scopes of work or tasks or things like that that our crew is doing or that different parts of our team is doing that maybe I haven't yet done to the extent that they're doing it or haven't done that exact scope of work out in the field with them. But the saying goes, and it's always been proven, is that I don't ever ask anyone to do anything that I haven't already done or I'm not willing to do with them, right? And that's where it goes to the leading by example. Is just in order to gain buy-in, right, voluntary compliance from your team, they have to know that you're willing to lead by example. And so sometimes you just got to do it, right? The next point, and this is one that I've really had to learn about in the last couple of years, is making hard decisions, right? Leadership is not about waiting for perfect clarity. Sometimes you just have to pull the trigger, whether it's a hire, a change in direction, or a tough personnel call. I can tell you right now, guys, growing a team to what we have right now, about 18 people other than Kelsey and myself, making tough decisions is something that has happened more often lately, okay? And a lot of that's because when I talk about painting the vision and painting the picture for where we want to go as a company, as a team, a lot of those things involve the how and the who's that it's going to take to get there. How we're going to accomplish it, what are the things that we need to get done, and who do we need to do them? And are those who's that we have capable of doing the hows and the what's that we need done, right? And if they're not, who do we need to bring onto the team? Who do we need to train up? Who do we need to push a little harder? Who do we need to relocate or readjust or realign in the organization? And so the hard calls that we have to make as leaders is something that everyone is looking for us to do. Sure, we have to make sure that we're not making knee-jerk reactions and just spraying and praying, shoot first, aim later, right? But sometimes you just have to pull a trigger and move forward. Sometimes you just have to go with a plan, go with an idea, and see what happens. Because the perfect time is never going to come. Because once you solve that problem, there's going to be another one right on its heels. That's just the way business works. That's the way leadership works. And so making sure that you're willing and able to make the hard decisions, to make the calls, and to move forward with them is something that everybody on your team needs from you. And I can tell you from experience that it's not always fun, right? One of the things that I've learned over the years from other individuals is when it comes time to make those tough calls, if it's not just a you decision, right? It's not just you that it's up to. It's maybe a team effort for whatever reason, if it's a personnel thing, a policy thing, or whatever it might be. One of the things that I really like to do is I'll take the time to listen to the other stakeholders and get their perspectives. And so if person A says, I think we need to go this direction because XYZ, person B says we need to go that direction because of ABC, and person C says, I think we need to go this other direction because of DEF, whatever the reasons may be, it's my job then as the leader in that situation to determine what direction is going to be the best and why, and then make the decision to move forward. Because I can tell you guys, very rarely do I have the best idea in the room. Sure, every now and then it happens, just like it does for you or anyone else, but very rarely do I have the best ideas for how to move forward. And so that's where it makes listening to those around you and then making the hard decisions in whatever situation it may be is where that gains that trust of your leadership from your peers. And because making hard decisions, the joke is when we have to make those, it's like, well, that's why we're leaders. That's what we get paid to do. Make the hard decisions that no one else wants to make. And so whether it's pricing, whether it's personnel, whether it's policies, whatever it may be, it's what has to be done. And so sometimes when it comes to making the hard decisions, you just gotta do it. Okay. And so the last step here that I'm going to cover, the last point I want to hit on is creating momentum, right? Because teams often stall waiting for that perfect plan, like I mentioned. They're waiting for the perfect time to just everything fall together and everything just magically works out. But the reality is, like I said before, it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something else to solve, always going to be another obstacle to overcome, always going to be another thing to celebrate or to be frustrated about, whatever it may be. There's always going to be something else that comes. And so leaders who move first and show progress beats perfection in action, inspires follow through. So you have to show them that you have to take moves. You have to take chances and just start moving in a direction. Once you start moving in that direction, right, it creates that momentum. Once you start taking the action, it inspires the follow through. And so being the leader that people can count on, you have to make sure that you're willing to do the things necessary to create that momentum. Guys, at the end of the day, leaders are called to make things happen. It doesn't always mean that they call all the shots, but they have to make the calls to make things happen. Okay? Because I can tell you right now, as a team of 18 other individuals that we have, there are people every day on this team that have way better ideas than I do. They're way better at doing certain tasks than I am. They're way better at staying committed to a certain task for a longer period of time to see it all the way through, right? They have skills and attributes that are better than me. But as the leader of the organization, I have to be willing to do what it takes to keep it moving forward, to keep that momentum going, to make the hard decisions, to lead by example. Because, guys, I can tell you every day I come in here, there's distractions that come up, right? There's, whether it's internal distractions, whether it's personal distractions, whatever it might be, there are things that always come up and derail me from what I need to do. But if I can't stay committed to doing what is required to lead this team effectively, then I will not have that trust and respect of the people I'm supposed to be leading. And so the topic of just do it is very relatable for me, because even recently in our company meeting that we held, at the end of it, is when I kind of get my time to speak and kind of, more or less let people hear it from the horse's mouth, whatever it is going on in the company, kind of a state of the company address every month, just to let people know where we're at, where we're going, whatnot. I got up to speak and I said, I don't really have a whole lot prepared. I don't have a whole lot I need to pass along. Just keep doing this and that. Next thing I know, 10 or 15 minutes later, I'm still painting the vision of where we're going. Right. And because, guys, like I said, as leaders, it's so easy to fall into that. It's so easy to talk about where we're going to go, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, what it's going to look like. But at the end of the day, you just need to do it. I just need to do it. And so I encourage anyone else who's listening to this, who is in a position that has the ability to just do it, to start just doing it, right? In the video that I referenced earlier, and I'll put a link to it in the post here, so you can it's a 5-minute video clip, and he talks about all these people that he was responsible for leading that would come to him with all these grand ideas, or the things that they're going to do, or the sale they're going to make, or the client they're going to take out, or the thing they're going to sell, whatever it may be, right? And his response to all of it is, great, just do it. You can talk about it all day long. You can get on here in a podcast and talk for 174 times about all the things that you're learning and doing and, talking about and going to make happen. But if you can't come over here to my side of the camera and follow me around for a day and see what I'm doing and see that, yes, he does it. He does what he's talking about. Then that's what people call smoke and mirrors. And as a leader, you never want to have that happen. Because once that happens, once that is established for your leadership, you're done. They've called your bluff. They might be here to appease you, but they don't believe you. And so you have to make sure that if you're responsible for anyone, even including yourself, that you're willing to just do it. So guys, I hope that inspires a little bit of action on your part. As we're going into quarter 3, actually effective today when this podcast comes out, October 1st, it is officially quarter 3. Quarter 4, I'm behind 3 months, but we're going into quarter 4 right now. So we've got 3 months left for the year. So what are the things that you need to just do in order to make 2025 end on the strongest note possible? Whether that's decisions you need to make for your team, whether it's ways you need to lead by example to make sure they know that you've got their back and that you're trying to chart the path for them the best way you know how, or whether it's creating that momentum to go into the year as strong as possible. What is it that you need to do as a leader that they're counting on you for? I've got my list of things I need to work on. And I've got those things that I need to make sure I'm stepping up to the plate and taking care of day in and day out. So guys, I hope that this provided a little bit of value for you. As I mentioned before, if you want to get a peek on what the other side of this camera looks like, check out our social media channels. I always post them in every post for our Proline pages. You're always welcome to follow my own personal pages as well. But the Proline channels do a fantastic job of showing the inside look of what our company does day in and day out. So as always, guys, I appreciate you. If you ever need anything, feel free to reach out. But nonetheless, I hope that this week you just do it.